Hello and welcome to Model 1. In this model, we'll be talking about acknowledging and accepting change. The objective is to help you realize, recognize, and acknowledge the changes that is going to come into your life as a result of being a divorced lady, is someone that is separated, or a single mom. Now, if we understand the changes that are going to happen, it will better prepare us for the circumstances that will happen surrounding these changes. Now, one of the changes that, let me talk about two changes that I experienced when I first left my marriage. And because my marriage ended twice. There was the time I left and the time he left. That was the final. So the first time I left, one of the changes I saw was I didn't know how to be a single woman again. I'd married when I was very early and I didn't understand what was happening in the dating scene, the relationship scene. I didn't even, there were times that people would try to make advances at me and I was like, are you okay? I literally wore my ring for 3 years later just because I was so uncomfortable being a single woman again. So that's one of the changes that I had. Number two change is the change of my social life, my relationship, the set of friends and the people that I have known. There was so much changes that happened in that space, and I wasn't ready and I wasn't prepared for it. So we are going to talk about that, and it aims to provide a comprehensive and supportive exploration of accepting and acknowledging change. This model will help you set the tone for a constructive and healing journey. A constructive and a healing journey for you while experiencing your divorce or while undergoing separation. So, the first thing we are going to be talking about is we are going to understand the nature of change, the inevitability of change, and we'll just go down the line acknowledging the process and what it is. So I'm just going to scroll down and we are going to quickly dive into the thing. Okay, number one is the fact that the inevitability of change. All through life, things change, circumstances of life change. As much as we desire for things not to change, as much as we desire consistency and for things to continue the way we want it to be, things change, my sister, my my friend. Things change, and sometimes life don't give us a a pointer. It doesn't give us a notice as to when things change. You can wake up, someone you love have died, and you have to prepare to adapt. You have to prepare to adjust with the changes that is going to happen when things change in your life. And one of the changes that have happened right now is the fact that there's a crash in your marriage. There's a crack. It's two things. It's either a crack or a clash. Okay. Now, if it is a crash, it means that the marriage has completely ended. Now, if it is a crack, it means that there is hope. Things can be fixed also. So, which is one of the things I talk to my women, that this place is not just a bedrock for just people that their marriages are completely ended. There are people that there may be restoration, intervention. When we talk to the two partners, we can intervene, and there's a cost for that for people that are going that they're trusting for their reconciliation of their marriage. So, but the truth is, right now, as you're talking to me, especially if you're taking this course, it means that you're not with your partner, you're alone. I deliberately stopped for 3 seconds so that you absorb that and understand that, see, right now you are not with your partner. Right now you are alone. If you have children, chances are right now you will be the one to feed them, to take care of them, to provide for them. Before I continue, this does not make you a mommy and daddy in one body. You're still a mommy. And one thing I will tell you is that in this process of divorce, be a mommy, like a mommy indeed, especially if you have children. Don't try to be a mommy and a daddy. Be a mommy that is there. You're a woman. You are a you are the lioness. You have to feed your cubs. You understand? So don't go around telling your children I'm the mommy and daddy in this house. No, you're a mommy, you're mommy. Things may have happened and daddy is not there. That's why we have the coaching program that is for children. We put them through those process. You're a mommy. That's one of the changes that have happened. It's even possible that one of the changes that may have happened right now is that you don't even have money. You don't have accommodation. You don't know how to start. Now, it's part of the process. When I was looking at going through this phase, and I read a lot of stories of Christian ladies that have gone through this path. And one thing I found out is that almost all of them, 90% of them, had minimum of 1 year to 3 years financial crash system time. So if you're going through a time where you don't have the finances and all, it's not only you, it's normal, it's one of the process. We are going to talk about it. Now, this the acknowledging the inevitability of change is not just a you're just accepting, pragmatic accepting, but it is a profound recognition that life is dynamic, constantly evolving, and that your ability to adapt plays a crucial role in your personal growth. If you cannot adapt and if you don't adapt to what is happening, you are going to be stagnated. You're going to live a life of bitterness, a life of hurt, a life of pain, because this other person have moved on, and you will look at them moving up and you're so angry, like, this person has moved on, this person's life is going okay after all I did for him, after all I sacrificed for him. It's okay, that's all in the past. Whatever you've sacrificed, we thank God. Jesus did more than that. He sacrificed his life for you. So whatever you've done, whatever you've invested, is okay. You can start afresh, and you can start up from scratch, and you can build a better life. That's one thing I want you to understand. God is there for you. You can build a better life. The inevitability of change is not a threat. It's not. It is what it is. It's a platform. It's a mental platform that will help you move, grow, grow. I've had women that are still dragging school fees with a man that don't want to pay school fees. I've had work with women that you're still calling him for feeding. This is change. You're going to pay some bills and pay them alone, because the truth is, you can't keep wasting your time dragging some things. Time is going. Life is moving on. Will you stay there and wallow forever? A year will go, 2 years, you're not picking up your life, you're not running. How are you going to take care of your children? Because the truth is, if you're not doing better, those children will also go back to their father. You see, children are where heroes in the game most times. Most times. Embracing change as an integral part of life allows us to harness its transformative power. What you're going through this, if you allow it, if you go through it the right way, which is what I'm trusting to do with you, and go through it holistically, you will be transformed to become a better person. Kusum, I am a better mother now than when I was married. Yes, let me tell you what happened is because when I realized that um society views children from single homes somehow, and they expect them to fail, to do different things and all that, I decided that my children will succeed, they will fear God, they will love God. I started doing research of single moms that have had excellent children that are on fire from God. And do you know what that thing did? It's energized my spiritual life with God. I become better in my finances now. I am more conscious in my plans about my future. I am now the things I would never dream of. I'm dreaming of now, because the truth is, I have to succeed. The only thing you have to send across is that you have to succeed, and not just succeed in money wise, you have to succeed all right, all round, emotionally, spiritually, all round. You have to succeed. And you're not succeeding to send a message to anybody. You're succeeding for you, for your children, and for your generation. Okay? You're succeeding for you, for your children, and for your generation. So you have to embrace change, foster resilience. You have to foster resilience. Your mind must be strong. You must get to the point where you say, if I perish, I perish, I will make it. I will go through this. I will come out stronger. I will be a better mother. That is it. Oh, your life has changed. Oh. You could eat. There are two things you can do. You can stay and cry, live a bitter life, live a hurtful life, live a life of in the midnight you will remove your clothes, press your breast, that God, your God will punish him, your God will show him. It's a lie. Oh. You can do that one, or you can stand up, wear your clothes, look beautiful like I am looking right now, look well, and start your life afresh. If you start today, give yourself 5 years. 5 years is too long. Give yourself 3 years. Your life would have been transformed in a way that your life would have been so transformed that you will look for things of old, you will not feel it. Because everything is in the mind. Everything is from the mind. If your mind is conquered, you're conquered. So you must, this course, by the time you're done with this course, you would have built mental resilience, emotional strength to go through this journey. You understand? So you can stay there and cry, or be hurtful, be bitter. Bitter with who? Where? What did he do to you? Whatever he has done, that's okay. It's time. You see, I am not. I can't be bitter. How can I be like this? How can I be bitter? That does not mean the person didn't hurt me. It's the fact that I choose, because every time you're bitter, you're angry, you're traumatized, you're bringing up negative emotions, your mind is not in the right state to think about the next thing you should do. So why choose that path? Why don't you come to this path, this brighter path, and we hold our hands together and move forward to a better life? You understand? So number one, nature as life is dynamic. That's what I've emphasized. And adaptability is a survival skill. If you're not going to adapt to the changes that have happened right now in your life, you're going to be swallowed. You're going to be swallowed. So number one change, if you're used to living in a duplex, it's time to live in a 3 bedroom. It's the time to live in a 2 bedroom, even if it's for 2 years. It's time to stretch yourself and work. If you used to work 5 hours, it's time to work 12 hours. If you were doing your business at local level, street level, it's time to go to the national level. It's time to go to international level. It's time to package yourself. It's time to sit down and think and say, how can I move from point A to point B? You have to adapt. If your children was going to schools that you can afford, please bring them, take them back, take them to schools that you can afford. We are adaptive beings by nature. The ability to adapt right now is crucial to your survival. It's crucial to the survival of your children. It's crucial to your generation. Do you know how many women that have gone through what you're going through? We're so many. You know how many of them that have come out better? We are so many. I believe you already watched the documentary of some of the women that I shared about that have gone through what you're going through. So if there's a sister that did it with 5 children, if there's somebody that did it with 4 children, if there's somebody that did it with 3 children, there's somebody that did it with 3 children, what are you? We are women. We have capacity to withstand pain. You see that labor pain? It's not just labor pain. No. We have in us inbuilt potential to withstand obstacles, to overcome obstacles. We have women. The way God built us is not the way God built men. We are not weaker, we are stronger. Men were just built from stand. We are built from bone. We have in us the the strength from within. So you have to reach out within and tap that strength and say, see, I this will be the lowest point I will be in my life. Change is a powerful catalyst for learning and personal evolution. Each encounter with change provides you an opportunity to gain wisdom. You may have seen some issues in your marriage. Yes, you've learned. If you've not learned, please, it's time to take some courses and learn. So gives you an opportunity to gain wisdom. It gives you an opportunity. This is an opportunity to gain resilience. This is an opportunity to go on a deeper understanding of yourself, of who you are, and that's what this course is going to be doing for you. This is an opportunity to rebrand yourself, like come out better, come out bold. This is an opportunity for that. But it all looks at how are you seeing this your journey? Have you understand what is happening? Have you understand so because if you resist your to this, if you resist and you don't adapt to this change right now, what will happen is that you're going to be stagnated. You will wake up one day and you wake up in 10 years and you realize you've not done anything for yourself. Because what have you been doing back and forth with your ex? He shouts, you drag him, he drag you, and you've not gone anywhere. 5 years later, 10 years later, you are at the same spot, waiting for God to punish him, or waiting for him to come back, or waiting for life, something to happen, or you're still not saying, crying. No, it's time to adapt. It's time to acknowledge change has come. Since change has happened in your life is not the way it was before. The path that you were going through is not the same. The Christmas villages you used to go is not the same. Things have changed. So if you don't adjust and adapt, you're going to be stagnated. And another thing is that change brings elements of uncertainty. You're not sure. You mean like, what will happen? How will the future be? Thoughts will be coming into your mind. Will I be able to? Will this happen? Will this not happen? You tell yourself that good things will happen, it will happen. Your mind is all in your mind. You wake up today and tell yourself, I will never live a small life. And not just telling yourself, because if you're telling yourself that and you're not doing the work, you're not growing. You have to do the work. 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 The things that you're saying, you have to wake up and put them to work. So you have to block whatsoever is making you think small, whatsoever that is not making you think. So you have to cultivate a growth mindset. You have to cultivate a growth. You must wake up and say, I'm going to be better. You must cultivate a growth mindset. How am I going to grow? You must cultivate a growth mindset. You understand? Because if you're not changing, if you're not willing to adapt and evolve with what is happening, you will hate yourself in the next 5 years because you will have not achieved anything and life would have continued. Things will get harder every day and you're still there. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. So, the next thing I'm talking about is aspects of our lives that have been affected by your divorce and separation. There are different aspects of your life. Now, one thing is that divorce and separation is a life altering event that can have profound impacts on various aspects of our lives. Is a life altering event. Divorce alters schedule. Like you wake up one day, you're Mrs. This, people love you. If you're in a church, they even give you prayer points to take, and you wake up one day, nobody. It alters your routine. Children had daddy. You woke up one day, there is no daddy. Children have a mommy. You woke up one day, there is no mommy. In the case where they are with their father, or their father have taken them, it just alters. It alters the relationship you've had. It also these repercussions extend beyond the emotional realm. It influences practical, social, and spiritual dimension. It affects every areas of our path. So navigating these different aspects of life affected by divorce and separation requires resilience, adaptability, and a holistic approach to healing. A holistic approach to healing. So you have to look at the different aspects, the different angles. So we'll start with, how does divorce, separation affect your emotional well-being? One thing is the fact that I always say that any marriage that ends, even the ones that there was no um physical abuse, there's always emotional abuse. And these have left women with so much hurt. There's always pain, regret, anger, grief, different levels of grief. In fact, some women grieve by partying, they grieve by sleeping with different men. You're always with somebody. They grieve by, there are different ways. Some people try to rebound. You have emotions of guilt, emotions of anxiety, hurt, bitterness, confusion. Divorce affects your emotions so much. So the challenge is, how do you cope with these emotions? And how do you understand their source and find healthy way to express and process these emotions? It's very important because divorce affects that. So we are going to talk about that in the course of this course. The next area, next part that divorce affects is the family dynamics. You should know that already. There was a time that there was a structure in the home: daddy, mommy, children. Now it may just be mommy, a distant daddy that is always shouting, wailing, insulting mommy or something, dragging school fees the children can't pay, and a mommy that feels that she's just carrying too much load and therefore she doesn't have time for the children. So it affects the structure of the family, not just that part. It also affects the structure of the family because families are divided. There are part of the family that is siding the husband. There's a part of the family that is siding the wife. There's a part of the family that is just trying, they are just caught in between. Extended family, parents are hurt, the children are angry, the children are confused, the children don't know what to do. And this particular way change, how it shows itself is that it affects, the co-parenting arrangement. There is nothing as exhausting, especially when the divorce is not mutual. Even when the divorce is mutual, like the man is already so angry, you go, I said you go. You co-parenting is just one of the most stressful challenges in the divorce process. One of the changes in divorce that brings so much pain and hurt is co-parenting, because sometimes you just see one of the parents that is just not willing to align, to cooperate or make things easy. You see one of the parents that is trying to cause parental alienation with the children, alienation where they are trying to plot with the children to hate the other parents. They are trying to use the children against their father. They are trying to talk to the children against their mother. They are trying to ask children to take sides. Co-parenting is just so stressful. Mothers can be so painful and hurt by their father that they transfer aggression. They beat the children excessively. They don't beat because of what is happening. They beat out of pain. The beating they would have beat their father, they beat the children. Children are having so much load. Co-parenting is one of the greatest challenge, especially in the family dynamics change. Co-parenting, how to co-parent and focus on the needs of the children, not brag about the person or try to make life difficult for the other person, something that you will not want to do, something that you will not want to do. You want that person to also do it. So co-parenting, when the other person is just out there to just use the children against the parents. Or so the maintaining open communication and addressing emotional needs of children during this stage is always, is a change that is challenging. So it's part of it. So you have to, why I'm talking about these changes is so that you recognize it and start looking at, okay, what are the solutions that can be fixed in this. We'll talk about the emotional part, the anger, the bitterness, hurt, pain, abandonment feeling, grief. All those ones are normal. We also talk about, sorry. the dynamics. Now, the next change that women are not ready for is that the financial instability that comes with it. One day you had a roof over your head, the next day is no longer your roof. So it's even funny that sometimes those roof are roof that you joined in building. It can be that painful and hurtful, and you no longer own it. Financial instability. One day you were it's different when you have hope that you're going to ask somebody to pay school fees, and it's different when you can't even ask them to pay again. They are just and what happened is that, especially now I'm going to talk because I'm talking to women. What happened is that to some of these men, they want to use it as a basis to send a message across, to make you feel hurt, to make you feel pain, to limit your finances, to limit you. So they completely abandon the responsibility and they're like, let me see how she will go through it, let me see how she will come out of it and all that. So if you're not ready for those kind of change, when it comes, it hits you hard. And you go back asking somebody that will laugh at you for money. You go back asking someone that will mock you for money, for school fees, for feeding, for basic things. If they want to pay, please, by all means, let them pay. But in a place where he's not willing to pay, you have to stand up and work for your children. And there's one thing I always tell my women, and I use it to reset their buttons, is that if this man was dead, what will happen to you and your child and your children? Will the child not go to school? Answer. Will they not feed? Answer. Will there not be a roof over their head? Answer. So if your answer is yes to any of those questions, then you have to stand up and put yourself together and get to do this job, get to do this work. It's not going to be easy, but you have to do it. You may need to ask people for money here and there, but you have to do it. You may have need to revamp your business, but you have to do it. You can't just sit down and become a charity case. Some women are not ready for the financial changes that accompanies divorce, and it is one of the process. That's how it is. There are so many financial changes that will come in. You have to pay bills that you were not the one paying before. Bills that you were not the one handling before. You will now be the one handling that bill. But you have to be ready to embrace it and do it. So what are the challenges in this financial instability? You have to learn financial independence. You have to learn how to do budget adjustments. Me, I have to sit my children down and say, see, these are the food we can afford. And everybody adjusts. I told them, give mommy this period, 1 or 2 years will be fine. And it's true. I'm paying your school fees. I pay school fees on time. Pay school fees in installments. Take them to schools that you can pay the fees, and pay monthly. And make sure you work your ass out to get that bill paid. Don't go calling. See, the truth is, when you call these men for this bill, they will not pay it most times, and you come out feeling bad already. You come out worked up, your emotions is worked up, your cursing is cursing, the children may be there and you're just lórí burúkú dùgbà. You're a gracious woman filled with elegance. You're not supposed to be involved in such battering back and forth. You're not that person. I know you. God knows you. And He told me the kind of women He's sending. So you're a woman of value. You're a woman of substance. You carry so much in you. And you stoop so low to be exchanging back and forth words. We are not that person. You're not that person. To be calling for pampers, for some things. The thing is that because we're in the African setting, there's no system that will automatically tax them till they pay. Even if you go to court, you back and forth and all that, and it pays 3 months, and later it doesn't pay, you now go back to court and we don't do that. So you have to learn budget adjustments. You have to learn managing individual finances. You have to learn how to grow wealth, grow money, and making wise financial decisions. Wise financial decision. You're no longer a dependent. You're now the the person that every other person is depending on. So another change is that there's change in our social relationship, our social structure may shift, and individuals may experience, especially you may experience changes in your friendship and your community connection. I didn't have any friend. My marriage crashed when I was in Uyo, and I woke up. I didn't have any friend. I just had like few friends. I couldn't go to the church again. I walk in and everybody's looking at me with eyes of judgment. So yes, there are changes with your social life, and that's why we have created this platform. We've created the this special sharing is a support system. So you have access to new set of friends. Do you know how many friends I've had in the space of how many months of doing this? I've had new friends, women that I've never felt this level of sisterhood with you people.